After the wrap-up of the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics, where a lot of funny things happened, we have decided to gather here to not do the Olympic Games, but do the Games Olympics. What we're actually doing is I played every single Mario and Sonic Olympic Games game, and we're gonna rank them from best to worst. Well, actually from worst to best. Gotta say the best for last. So these are our candidates. We've got the Nintendo Wii representing the 2008 Beijing Olympics. We got the Nintendo DS representing the same Olympics. We have the Nintendo Wii representing the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. We have the Nintendo DS representing the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. Then we have the Nintendo Wii representing the London 2012 Summer Olympics. Then we have the Nintendo 3DS representing the 2012 London Olympics. Then we have the Nintendo Wii U representing the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympic Games. And then we have the 3DS representing the 2000... Oh, that one doesn't exist. Well, you know what? I wouldn't want to spend 2 games in Russia either, so maybe that's on purpose. Next we have the Wii U representing the Rio 2016 Summer Olympic Games, and then the 3DS representing the same game. Finally, we have the Nintendo Switch representing the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games with the worst cover. You could tell the developers were ready to jump to NFTs. My personal favorite box art cover is the 2010 Winter Olympics from Vancouver on the Wii. Look at that triangular composition. Now that we introduced all the candidates for these Olympics, Olympics, you rank them. I'll just say most of the character rosters have like between 16 and 25 characters, like depends on the system. All the games have the characters sorted in like 4 different categories based on their stats, you know. But I think if anyone genuinely picks their characters based on those stats in these games, I think you're a little bit of a sweat, because it's not that deep. Just pick your favorite. Also, the systems that support the Miis, you can also play as a Mii. Last place goes, unfortunately, to the 2010 Winter Olympics on the DS. So sad. You know, the game is on the DS, which obviously means we're gonna use the touchscreen. But when I was rubbing the screen left and right, their words, not mine, it felt like nothing was happening. And I did not appreciate that. And neither did my DS. The screen is now scratched up a lot. So yeah, the touchscreen, you have to swipe left and right for most of the sports, and it didn't really register, at least not for me. And if it did register, it didn't feel like it was registering my inputs. This is not the first game that I experienced that in, because when I played the very first Cookie Mama game on the DS, it also felt like my cuts weren't cutting. Yeah, for the winter games, my favorite is figure skating. That was the highlight of this game. You know, that's all I really have to say about this one. It's just, it didn't hit, which is so sad, because in general I prefer Winter Olympics to the Summer Olympics. I mean, I don't care about the Olympics that much, like in real life. I never watch those things. But this year I actually watched the figure skating thing. So, am I qualified for this? Not really. But yeah, the 2010 Vancouver DS Olympic Games is at the bottom. Next we have the 2016 Rio Olympics on the 3DS. It's the 3DS, so there's a little bit of the touch controls, a little bit of the button controls, a little bit of the gyro stuff. I don't mind motion controls. My favorite console is literally the Wii, but I don't think a handheld console should have gyro/motion controls. Trying to find where you are, it's a bit too much. I don't appreciate it, but I appreciate the buttons at least, because the touchscreen on the previous game was not it. And in this one there was a bit more circle pad action, A button, B button. Sometimes you press X to like release super speed, and then you just go fast for a few seconds. There were some where you had like, woo woo woo, whoa, I don't know where I'm going. But as you will see, the handheld versions of these games are at the bottom. Then we have the 3DS 2012 London Olympic Games on the 3DS. You might disagree with that, but I think this one had a bit too much content, because it genuinely made me want to JOL. It burnt me out from playing these games. And a lot of them were just like, there was one where you run a marathon. I was like, oh my god, yay, we're gonna run a marathon. It's gonna be so much fun. But you don't run. The marathon minigame is just you looking at the screen, waiting for your character to approach a table, and then you have to press A at the right time to grab a water bottle. Where's the running? Where's the sport? I will say, the touch controls in this one were a little bit better. They actually worked. But as I said, there were too many events and they were very short. I would prefer less events and have them a bit longer, because half of the gameplay was waiting for the game to load. There's a character limit. Like I said, that in all of the games, each character has different stats and they're put into different categories. For this game, and the previous actually, I forgot to mention that, and that's why they're both at the bottom. The 3DS games, each sport gives you like a selection of 5 characters. You can just choose any character for any sport, which like, just let me play as Princess Peach. Why am I forced to play as Mario? Give me some other options. Next, we have the 2008 DS Olympic Games in Beijing. It was on the DS, so like the touch controls again, not the best, but this one had a lot of fun sports. My favorite was table tennis, because I just love ping pong in real life too. And yeah, that was fun. I think that was actually button controls. I'm not sure. Yes, it uses button controls. I just checked the script. Also, shooting was fun and cycling was fun. Shooting actually was especially fun because you press L to shoot, but to aim you use the touch controls. So it was a nice combination of the touch controls and the button controls. You aimed on the bottom screen, but you had to look at the top screen, which made it a little bit of a challenge, which was also fun. If you played Pokemon X and Y, there's a training thingy in that game where you also have to like kind of shoot stuff, and kind of works in the same way. Next, we have the 2016 Rio games on the Wii U. That game's kind of ugly, not gonna lie. It just looks like the 3DS version that's been upscaled. I genuinely low-key feel like the HDification of the Wii U kind of like ruined it, because if you look at the Wii games and then you look at the Wii U games, like yeah, the Wii games look worse because it's a bit blurry and all that, but the Wii U games, a lot of the games look really good. But there's these games where the HD of it all kind of like makes you see the flaws a little bit more. I think this one was just a bit weird, I don't know. But let's look past the visuals. It was actually kind of fun. Controls were responsive, unlike the handheld ones. There were a bunch of longer events. You know, I always prefer a longer event because then it actually feels like you're playing a game instead of just a button pressing simulator. My favorites were, how do you say that word? Equestrian, where you ride a horse. In equestrian, you use the D-pad to move, or like the circle, the thumbstick, whatever. You move left and right, and then you press A. Like you have to time your A presses with like the things on the ground, and then you hold A a little bit. Like it all depends. Like it's very much, you're on a horse, your horse is strutting along, and then you have to react with what's happening. It's actually kind of fun. It's like a rhythm game almost. And it was very similar with BMX. Oh, BMX was so fun. You just ride a bike. Yeah, that was so much fun. Also, shooting was fun. Not shooting. Archery was really fun. Ooh, whoop. You have to use your trusty thumbstick to aim and then press A to shoot. But it was timed, so like you couldn't just like, oh, let me get a precise shot. You had a few seconds. You had to lock in and hit the bullseye. It was a bit of a challenge, which I enjoyed. Next, we have the Switch 2021 Tokyo Olympics on the Switch. This one is only higher because you have an option to use button controls or motion controls and something else for every single sport, because in all the other ones it's either or, like whatever the game decided, that's what you had to do. But in this one, you look at that grease, damn. On the Switch, you actually had a choice. But other than that, like it's pretty similar to the, yeah, they're kind of very similar. There's a story mode in this one too, but like I didn't play the story mode. I just cared about the sports. Number 4, we have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on the Wii. As I said, I love the Wii motion controls. They're really good, especially with the Wii Motion Plus inside, which I've always had. I don't know life without Wii Motion Plus inside. I remember one time I saw like a commercial for the attachment for the non-Wii Motion Plus inside Wiimote that you put in, like the extender, and was like, what the fuck is that? I would never. And then I researched a little bit and I realized, oh, I already have that inside. Maybe that's why I think the Wii is really good. Well, either way, the Wii is really good. The motion controls are really good. So anyway, this game, the trampoline was super cool. It was really hard though, because you have to do this like on time as you land on the trampoline, which was the easy part. But once you were in the air, you had to do a bunch of tricks. And it wasn't just like press A, B, B, A, 1. No, you had like press A and then swing your Wiimote and then press B and bloop, bloop. There was a combination of buttons and motion controls, which made it kind of hard because you also didn't have a lot of time to do it. But it was fun. That's the thing about the Wii, it's just fun. Also, there was shooting. The Wii is a perfect console for shooting games. It was specifically Skeet. It says shooting skeet. I don't know what skeet is. It looked like a frisbee. Maybe a skeet is a frisbee. I don't know. Although at the end stages, it went really fast and I didn't hit any. But you know, it's fine. Fencing was really good. You needed the nunchuck, which I do have. I was so good. I already forgot who I played as, but I think Waluigi was involved. Like, I stabbed that bitch. Yeah, you use the nunchuck to move left and right, and then you stab with a Wiimote. It was really fun. And of course, table tennis uses motion controls, just like Wii Sports. What can I say? Table tennis is always fun. It's always my favorite in all of these games. But now, podium time. The bronze medal goes to 2012 London Olympics on the Wii. Yay! So there was this canoe mini game where I played as Mario and Luigi, you know, gotta have the bros. And it low-key looked like Mario was spanking Luigi. Made me kind of scared. Anyway, unlike the 3DS version of this game, the Wii one is actually really fun. And I actually wanted to play it more and more, and I wanted to keep playing it because yeah, that 3DS version was a disaster. But this one, beautiful. Right, my favorite sport in this one was rhythmic gymnastics. Your character jumps around and twirls and all that, and then there were circles on the ground and an arrow, and if the arrow pointed down, you had to do this. Once your character stepped on it, if the arrow pointed up, you had to do whoop, and all that. There was like spinning. If you've played it, you know. It's just really fun. And at the end, you do a final pose. That usually didn't register for me, but that's fine. There's badminton in this game, which, no offense to all the pro badminton players, but is that really an Olympic sport? Because to me, badminton has always been like, we have tennis at home, you know? You want to play tennis, but you can't, so you play badminton in your backyard. Like, is actual tennis at the Olympic Games? I've never seen it. But then again, I've never watched the Olympics. I don't know what the badminton ball is called, but that ball was flying. I did have fun. As I said, motion control tennis games are always fun. And there was also table tennis, of course. Although table tennis was better in the 2008 one than in 2012 one. But the whole game overall is the 2008 one, but better. Improvement. The silver medal goes to Mario and Sonic at the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. I feel like this one is considered the best in like a lot of them. I think a lot of people like this one. This one is really good.
She's really good.
I think in general I prefer Winter Olympics. Did I already say that? I did prefer the Winter Olympics to the summer ones. It's a shame that there's only 3 and one of them is on a DS. But this one was really fun. You use a nunchuck a lot and you like ski, you do this like, and then there's mogul stuff, which is skiing with like bumpy hills, and you do this. And then once you trick in the air, you trick in the air, and ski jumping, you go whoop. And then you have to like hold your balance, and then you have to land. It's a lot of motion controls again, but as I said, motion controls on the Wii are allowed. Anywhere else they are not. My favorite, figure skating, is the same gameplay as rhythmic gymnastics on the Wii 2012 London one. You do like, there's circles on the ground, you do pook, you do jumps, triple axels and stuff, and then there's a spin, right? And then you have to balance a little bit. Yeah, there's also skeleton. Yeah, the one where you like ride on a board head first down a hill for like 160 kilometers an hour. This game specifically in the instructions, like you're meant to hold your Wiimote like this and then like do woo, woo. Also, I think this one's a bit special because when I went to Finland, my friend and I played it together at her house. Even though this game is already top 2, that's bonus points for it. Yeah. And number 1, gold medalist. Oh, so good. Such a good game. The Wii U 2004 Winter Olympics. This one was really good. It was basically the 2010 winter ones, except like there was upgrades, you know, new console and all that. There was a lot of Wiimote action, a lot of gamepad action, which, you know, all the same sports, which I'm guessing why they didn't bother making the 2018 Winter Olympics, because, you know, it's all the same sports. There's not many sports in the winter games. But I think the gamepad actually added a lot of things. At first I was like, oh, I can't use my Pro Controller. Ugh. But then the gamepad, you know, it was actually kind of fun. In curling, which, disclaimer, I don't think that's a real sport. Over here, you actually like would strategize, and you know, you had the whole field, you had to hold it like this, which this was kind of awkward because the Wii U gamepad cannot stand up by itself, so I had to hold it. You could strategize like, oh, here's the circle that we need to go to with our stones, and you could draw on it. I drew a beautiful picture. The gamepad added some things, at least to curling. And also, during the actual games, on the gamepad, there was Toad and like some other people commentating. That was fun. Although, while you're actually playing the game, you're busy playing the game, so you can't really read the commentary that they're doing. But he said, "I'm Toad, and me and my friend Chow are so excited to commentate in these Winter Olympics." So that was fun. Yeah, I wish I could actually read the commentary that they were doing, but I was busy skiing. But as I said, gameplay is the same, mostly the same as the 2010 Olympics. Although I was kind of wondering, you know, the Wii U didn't come with Wiimotes. I know they were sold in stores separately, but this game requires a Wiimote. And I know most people had a Wii before they bought a Wii U, so they had at least one Wiimote. But what if there was a strange case of someone getting a Wii U for Christmas and getting this game for Christmas and then not being able to play it? Highly unlikely, I would guess, but it still made me wonder, because I would be devastated. Anyway, I think the reason this one is higher than the previous one, I think, as if I didn't decide. The gamepad action, I know people hate the gamepad, I low-key hate the gamepad too, I use the Pro Controller when I can. The gamepad action added a lot of it, but also the figure skating, there were less songs. But they had a pair skating mode, which you can do with a partner, which I don't have, so I kind of had to do it alone. But it was kind of weird because the game allowed you to enter that mode even with only one Wiimote, which you can actually do because you only need a one Wiimote, because you hold this part and your partner holds this part and then you skate together, you hold hands. But in the tutorial there's an option for one Wiimote or two Wiimotes, right? And the tutorial showed me both tutorials and I was just confused, like, game, the Wii U, you know I only have one Wiimote. So I was confused. That was weird. I wanted to do a figure skating emotional duo with Bowser and Bowser Jr. about 2% milk, and you cannot do that. They need to be the opposite gender, the two players. So instead I did an emotional routine with Peach and Bowser Jr., which was cute. But yeah, in the single figure skating, there was one more move where you had to hold your hands out, and like the Wiimote, you had to like do a little bit of this because there were like little notes on the screen and you had to catch them all. And I did do it, and then my arm hurt for the next 5 days. That's why the 2014 is on top, because it was really good and I really loved playing it. That's my ranking of all the games. I hope you liked this video. I know it's been a long time since I made a video. But yeah, this one was a bit of a doozy. I need to stop now because I'm getting really warm, and because it's 25 degrees in my room, and I'm wearing my not wearing my coat, but I'm wearing a really warm fuzzy jacket, hoodie. And also a scarf. My friend Lispa made this scarf for me when I went to visit her in Finland. Isn't it so cute? It's yellow. She's really good. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to press subscribe, because I'll be back. Not with more green screen, unfortunately, but I have plans for like making videos. I couldn't sleep last night and I thought of a bunch. So my head is full of ideas, now I'm just gonna get them out of my head. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, press the join button if you want. There's nothing happening there, but if you want. And also comment down below, what's your favorite Mario and Sonic Olympics game? Let me know. And I'll see you soon. Bye! This is the first real test. Oh my god, yay!